Out from
There you go. I remember that.
You want to stand in? Okay. From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Thursday night, it's exciting Imperial Valley basketball, brought to you live on valleysportsnetwork.net, your favorite sports network here promoting high school athletics in the Imperial Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Vic Carrillo along with Mike Pacheco. We'll be bringing you our first ever broadcast of high school basketball featuring the visiting Central Spartans and the hosting Calexico Bulldogs as we welcome Mike Pacheco to the broadcast. Mike?
Thank you, Vic. Thank you. Exciting to be here. Crowd's coming in. This is going to be an important game for both teams. Been kind of watching them, and they're coming in with a pretty hot streak. So both teams on a winning streak. So it should be an exciting game.
Well, Calexico comes in with a 13-4 record overall. They're 4-1 in league, and the Spartans come in with a 12-7 record, and they're 5-0 in league. So they're undefeated. They played a barn burner 2 weeks ago on the 18th of January, where Calexico led a closely fought game for the first 3 quarters of the game, but then Central broke away in the 4th quarter, scoring 13 points and holding the Calexico offense, a highly vaunted offense, to only 4 points. And that was the difference in the ball game, winning 51-48.
Yeah, a real close game there at Central 2 weeks ago, Vic. And so, yeah, it just came down to probably a little bit of the home court. We all, as coaches, we always think that, when you play at home, you get a few little extra points because the kids know the baskets. And that may be the difference back then, and could be the difference here tonight.
Well, both teams like to rely on their defense, and their defense creates their offense. And whether it's a full court pressure, man-to-man pressure, or even a tight zone. And as a result, they try to create turnovers, and they like to turn those turnovers into easy buckets. But according to Coach Juan Valenzuela, who's in his 12th season as a varsity coach, nine at Central, he's not afraid or shy of going into a half-court game. Could you elaborate on that, the difference between a wide-open offense and a structured offense?
Thanks, Vic. Yeah, it's these two teams really know each other. They played already once. So I'm sure that Coach Valenzuela and Calexico, they're going to change it a little bit, maybe to start off the game. So we'll see, and they'll make adjustments at halftime just to see how they're playing. But again, it should be a really close, exciting game here.
On the other side of the ball, you have Hugo Estrada. This is his 10th year coaching. He started out at the JV level. This is his 4th season as the Calexico varsity coach. And lo and behold, his 2nd season, he led the Calexico Bulldogs to the Division IV CIF Championship in San Diego prior to the pandemic hitting in March, where they defeated El Capitan High School at then Serra High School to win the San Diego section of CIF. So there's quality basketball in the Calexico varsity, as they have 3 starters returning from that team. Their center, Julian Beltran, and the Tavares brothers, Aaron and Andres.
Yeah, so Coach Estrada has some experience with big games because he's been to the playoffs, and he's got two of those young guards, the senior Tavares and the junior, that are going to really probably make a big difference in this ball game.
Sometimes the players of this era, not only do they want you to talk the talk, they want you to be able to walk the walk, and show them how to execute something, whether it's a ball handling drill, a shooting drill, or just, a defensive slide. And speaking of Hugo Estrada, he played professionally for the Mexicali Soles after playing at IVC. And so he was an outstanding point guard when he graduated from Calexico High School in 2000. But we can't deny the talents that Juan Valenzuela brought for Central. I used to tease him that he was always already shooting from the parking lot when he played because there weren't enough basketballs for him. But he was a prolific scorer for the Central Spartans, as well as a terrific rebounder. And here in his 9th season coaching the Central Spartans, he's led them to a couple of Imperial Valley championships and he spent 3 years at the helm here at Calexico High School. So there's a lot of familiarity between he and Hugo Estrada, and like you say, we're in for a barn burner tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Vic, I was just going to mention, Coach Valenzuela spent some time here when Marty Swartz was the head coach here at Calexico. So he has a little bit of ties here with Calexico. So that's why I think this game is so exciting. And it's going to be, just a barn burner of a game, I think.
Speaking of Marty Swartz, a good friend and also an excellent coach in his own back in the 90s, we were fortunate to hire him when I was at Vincent Memorial to coach the 1994 seasons, where he led the Vincent Memorial Scots to the CIF playoffs, and in 94 with Paulo Cesar Huanchope, a foreign exchange student from Costa Rica, along with Adrián Ortega and Miguel Gonzalez and Gary Wong Jr., they went to the finals against Bishops, losing in overtime. They parlayed that effort to the first round in the state playoffs against Campbell Hall, and they had a 7-foot center named Alex Lopez, who was the older brother of the Lopez twins that went to Stanford and are now in the NBA, Robin and Brooke. So, what a small world.
Yeah.
But Marty later coached here at Calexico, and one of his characteristics of his team was their tenacious full-court man-to-man pressure. I mean, just like Coach Robertson from Arkansas, it was 32 minutes of hell.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, Marty was pretty, as a head coach, he was just strategist. So I'm sure that Coach Valenzuela may have taken some of those lessons or some of the strategy that Marty used, and so he might be using that tonight too. So we'll see how they come out.
So what do you look for tonight with the Central Spartans in first place with an undefeated league record? Calexico's lone loss in league was to the Spartans at their Central gym, and Calexico needs to win tonight to have a tie for first place. And if Central is able to be victorious, well, they'll be in the driver's seat for the rest of the season.
That's correct, Vic. So this is a big game for both teams. I think, Calexico there with a win here tonight will end up being in a tie for the league. And, we've been, both of us, you and I have been in these kind of games. I think these kids probably didn't sleep very, very well last night thinking about this game, and I'm sure the coaches didn't either. So, again, this is going to be quite an exciting game for both. And we look like we're getting a real nice crowd. So it's going to be a packed house here.
Yeah, it will be. And, these players are familiar with each other, playing in youth basketball leagues and going to Mexicali, and a little bit of travel ball thrown in between, and then at the freshman and JV level. But speaking of freshmen, we have an outstanding freshman playing for Central in Martin. So what can you tell us about him? He's a son of Gene Martin, the grandson of Al Lefty Martin. So he's got the athletic gene there, no pun intended.
Yeah, so the blood works well in that family. They've been all great athletes throughout, from their grandfather Lefty to their father Gene, and now him. So I'm sure that he's been taught well, and I'm sure that he will probably do well as a freshman here.
And speaking of former freshmen, you have Julian Beltran, who has started for the Calexico Bulldogs since his freshman season. He's now one of the leaders as a senior, averaging 16 points a game, very cerebral. He has a lot of basketball knowledge and experience. He's played with all-star teams in Mexicali in the different youth divisions. And then you have the Tavares brothers. You have Aaron, a senior. He's the middle son of the Tavares family, and his younger brother Andres, who's a junior. But the one that really set the table for him was their oldest brother Anthony, who was a point guard supreme for the Calexico Bulldogs. And the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, as these two fine young gentlemen have really spearheaded Calexico, with Aaron leading the team in scoring with over 20 points per game.
Yeah, so Calexico comes in as a team averaging about 61 points per game. So there's quite a bit of offense there, and I'm sure those three players that you mentioned, Vic, are a big part of their success. So I'm sure that they're going to rise to the occasion tonight, and we'll see how it turns out.
And speaking with the coaches earlier in the week, just to kind of get a scouting report from each one, on their own teams. I asked them to evaluate their teams, their strengths and their weaknesses, and there was a lot of commonality. They like to play tenacious defense. They like to create transition buckets. You know, the layup is always the easiest shot to make, and if they can get that steal and convert it into a layup, that's almost psychologically like a 4-point switch. The 2 points that you scored and the 2 points you took away from the other team, and sometimes that really drains the morale of the opposing team.
Yeah, so, you know, close games like this, you know, you want to, as a coach, you want to be able to get some easy baskets, and especially on the defensive side where you can get a steal or something and get a layup. Because if you go to the half-court offense on both, it's going to be very hard for both teams to score. So they're going to be looking to put some pressure on the open court and try to get some easy baskets.
You know, Mike, in preparation for a game like of tonight's magnitude, you coached on the girls' side for many years and were very successful at it. What kind of buy-in do you get from your players to play defense and run those defensive drills?
Well, you know, you have to kind of start early in the season with your players, and you got to emphasize the part of defense. Defense is most, you know, as coaches say, defense wins games. Football, basketball, anything. And so you want to be able to get that across to the kids early in the season so they can carry it out throughout the season. But defense is, for us, I was more of a defensive coach than offensive coach in my time. So I love defense. I like to throw different things at teams so they can have to call timeouts or get prepared for the next time we play them. So.
Well, you know, both coaches didn't come here alone as far as getting these players ready. They both have filled out an outstanding coaching staff assisting them. For example, Calexico High School, their head coach is Hugo Estrada, and he's assisted by Jesse Contreras, Tyler Gentry, Franco Nunez, and Carlos Fernando Moreno. And on the central side of the ball, you have their head coach, Juan Valenzuela, 12 years of coaching, 9 years at Central, and he's assisted by Gene Martin, the head varsity baseball coach, along with the assistant coach, Carlos Plazola. What can you comment on any of those coaches if you're familiar with them, or what a head coach looks for in his assistant?
Well, you know, and that's a good point. He's got to have some. I'm sure these assistant coaches are real familiar with what the game plan is tonight, and I think some of them are probably going to study on the defensive side and some on the offensive, both sides. And I'm sure they were sent out to scout each other before this game, so to make sure that there was nothing new that they had put in. So they're probably prepared, assistants and the head coach.
You know, Calexico is celebrating senior night tonight. They have a couple of seniors. Well, let's give you the starting lineups for each team. Calexico will go with Aiden Carrasco, 5'11 junior. He'll be joined in the backcourt with Aaron Tavares, who will be wearing jersey number 1. Wearing jersey number 10 will be his brother Andres Tavares, 5'6", while Aaron goes at 5'7". And then we get to the height. Forward, Christian Bravo, who's 6'3". He's a senior, along with fellow senior and also at 6'3", Julian Beltran, and he'll be wearing jersey number 33 tonight. On the Spartan side of the ball, they'll go with Jared Martin, only a freshman. He'll be wearing jersey number 0, and he'll be joined by Arturo Estrada, a sophomore, wearing jersey 23, a very popular number. We started with Michael Jordan, and then continuing on with LeBron James and whoever else is the star player for a team. They all want jersey number 23. Then they go with Jacob Vargas, a junior, wearing jersey number 5. Skylar Cook, an outstanding All-Valley performer at defensive back for the Central Spartans, and he's a rebounding machine here for the Spartan basketball team, wearing jersey number 10. He's only a junior. And then they round out their starting 5 with fellow senior number 40, Jacob Tovar. And so both teams are coming in. They're healthy. There's no injuries. And I don't think they can wait for the game to get started.
Yeah, so I think, you know, the starting 5 is important, Vic, but you know that you're going to need some kids coming off the bench to help out, especially if some of these starters get into some foul trouble or hopefully no injuries, but mainly the foul trouble. So both coaches are going to depend on the bench a little bit on this game.
And, you know, we talk about fouls, we talk about officiating. Tonight's game has 2 of the finest officials in the Imperial Valley Basketball Referees Association, with J.J. Jackson, who was an outstanding player, an All-American in junior college at IVC. Then he parlayed that to a scholarship to the University of Alaska in Anchorage. And then an outstanding athlete in his own right in high school, Randy Arguelles. So they like to let the players play. If it's an obvious foul, they'll call it. But, they'll warn the players about hand checking or anything, anything minute. So, they're not going to be calling ticky-tacks, and I'd be surprised if one is called.
Yeah, so we have two good, like you said, Vic, we have two good veteran officials for this important game, and I think they're going to talk to the players before the game to make sure that they understand, what they're going to be calling. So, it should two good officials, so be good on that.
And so what would be the keys for victory for first the Central Spartans, and then we'll talk about the Calexico Bulldogs after that analysis?
For Central, they're going to have to do a little bit what they did that 2 weeks ago when they did barely beat Calexico. They're going to have to stay, their 5 starters are going to have to stay out of foul trouble and then control the boards. That's going to be the main thing. As a coach, we always looked at the rebounding at the end of the game. You always want to out-rebound your opponent. Most of the time, if you control the boards on both ends, you're going to come out as victorious.
And don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, by the height of Andres Tavares, as well as his older brother Aaron, going at 5'6" and 5'7". They're tenacious defenders, but they're also quick leapers, and they like to attack the boards too. So they fill up the stats sheet with points scored, steals, rebounds, assists. They're the total package, and as a complementary player, I would think they would enjoy playing with them because they're going to pass the ball. And I think that's the key to Calexico's fortunes, is making that extra pass, trying to get a great shot instead of a good shot. But don't pass up that good shot, because if you start playing robotic-like and thinking about it, then that just throws your timing off and everything else off.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Vic. And I think as the game goes on and the tempo goes on, they're going to be able to adjust, especially, the Tavares, Aaron, and Andres, and they're smart players. They're going to be able to adjust to how the tempo of the game goes. So we'll see how it is. It's a great matchup, really. I mean, it's just on paper, it looks like we're going to, whoever has the ball at the end is probably going to win the game.
The other interesting element here is that both teams are wearing new uniforms. They finally arrived after the pandemic issues that were hitting the harbors in San Pedro and along with Long Beach. And so the uniforms have finally arrived. They're unveiling them tonight. Central will be wearing their traditional all blue uniforms with white trim, and the Calexico Bulldogs will be sporting all white uniforms with garnet or maroon trim. So it'll be an interesting development tonight, and some of the numbers have been changed. Calexico has their rosters raised almost up to the rafters here, but those numbers are not the correct ones now, as we had to change numbers for about 8 of the 12 players on the Calexico roster.
Yeah, so, both it's exciting. They got some new unis, so that's always exciting for the kids to shine on their uniforms. But, we got the Calexico band here tonight. We have cheerleading, song leaders. It's just going to be a great atmosphere for this game. Can't wait to get the tip-off going.
We thought the band was gonna sit right in front of us, and we thought we were going to have to raise the decibel level as far as the volume in speaking. But, there's nothing like high school basketball. You have Friday night lights for football, and these games were traditionally played on Fridays, and they've been, because of COVID, the scheduling has been in disarray.
Yeah.
You have games being played every day of the week whenever the players are healthy.
Exactly.
So as a result, they wanted to get this game in before somebody tested positive for COVID.
That's a good point, Vic, because, throughout this basketball season, all these coaches had to adjust because of this. And so that's another thing that they're doing a great job of, is kind of managing the COVID deal with all their players and trying to get the season in and get it done. So especially for the seniors.
when you coached and prepared your team for a big game and the week of the big game, what were some of the things that you tried to reinforce and establish with your team? You know, some coaches like the KISS method, keep it short and simple, while others, you know, sometimes overload their players with plays and what have you.
Yeah, and then
what was your strategy?
That's a good question, Vic. You know, big games toward the end of the season, you're not going to throw in new stuff. You're really going to try to save their legs a little bit, maybe have some light practices before the game, but just go through everything, all the scenarios, out of bounds plays. You know, you got 5 seconds left in a game and you're tied. What are you going to do? What kind of play are you going to call? So those are the things that I think these two coaches probably went through them for the last week or so on this game.
Well, you know, there's a lot of outstanding talent here in the Imperial Valley among the athletes on the girls and boys side in all sports. And I'm really happy that the vehicle that Valley Sports Network and Will Torres and Ron Rubio are providing to our local athletes. VSN originally started out 4 years ago providing coverage of Brawley Wildcat football. And they expanded their offering, inviting John Moreno, who does the play-by-play did the play-by-play for the Calexico Bulldogs for 27 seasons. And I joined him as a color commentator for 27 of those seasons. John did it 28th season prior to me coming in. And now with the Valley Sports Network, it's really giving the players and the schools the exposure, not only to San Diego CIF, but globally. Because you can pick up this game on YouTube and you can watch it into perpetuity any day of the week and any time of the day.
No, they're doing a great job. They started, like you said, with football, and then you and John were there, and now they're trying to get into the basketball game. So that's always a good, basketball's pretty exciting here in the Valley. So many good players.
Well, speaking of John Moreno, the voice of choice, the real deal, that master blaster and your friend and mine, he's the public address announcer here at Carl Varner Memorial Gymnasium, 52 years in its existence. And ironically, back in 1968, when I was a senior, we were going to play Central for first place. We were all tied with Brawley High School as well. They were led by Willie Vasquez and Alex Musino. And James White led, and Al Green led the Spartans. And the Friday, the morning of that game in January, in mid-January, the superintendent, Carl Varner, tragically passed away from a heart attack. So they postponed the game to February. We lost our momentum, and when we did play that return match, well, some of our players were already thinking baseball, track and field, and what have you, and we lost a close game with the Central Spartans, so we didn't go into CIF. Only the top two teams went in back in the late 60s.
Yeah, back then it was a little different than what it is now on the playoff situation. That was too bad. You wait that long, then you lose all the momentum.
Well, you know, this is a rivalry game for both the Spartans and the Bulldogs in basketball. You were at Hopeville High School. Who was your rival?
You know, we had, when I was in high school in the late 70s, I graduated in 77 from Hopeville, we had Imperial and Calapat were our two big rivalries back then. We had some great games with those two schools.
And then when you coached girls basketball, were there any teams that really had your players keyed up for more than others?
You know, Calexico was one of them, we used to have Calexico used to have some great players here, and we used to have some great games. But, every year is different. Like, Vic, the teams, seniors graduate, and then you get new players and stuff. So every year was a new challenge, I guess.
Well, right now, John Moreno is introducing the Central Spartan starters. They're starting out with number 0, Jared Martin, only a freshman and one of the chairmen of the boards for the Central Spartans. Number 23, a sophomore, will be Arturo Estrada. Their center is Jacob Vargas. He'll be wearing jersey number 5. Skylar Cook, a forward, wearing jersey number 10. And Jacob Tovar, number 40. They're being coached by Juan Valenzuela, and assisted by Gene Martin and Carlos Plazola. Any comments on the Central squad as they get into their huddle with their coach?
You know, right now they're a little nervous probably, and they're probably just making sure that they're up for this game. I know the coaches are talking to them and get them prepared, but they're waiting for that tip-off to get going. So.
And on the Calexico side of the ball, they're going to go with Carrasco wearing jersey number 12, and along with Aaron Tavares, Andres Tavares, Bravo, and Beltran. So as they're making the introductions, we'll be getting set for tip-off real soon at the conclusion of John Moreno's introductions. So a full house tonight. We've got the bleachers filled to capacity as the Central Spartans supporters have traveled well coming down to Calexico, and the Calexico faithful is also here in numbers as they brought out the bleachers on both sides of the court. So as we get set, ladies and gentlemen, we'll pause for the national anthem. Well, we're having some technical difficulties with the Associated Student Body and their music technician as he's trying to get the national anthem ready. From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Thursday night, it's exciting Imperial Valley basketball brought to you live by ValleySportsNetwork.net, your official athletic network for Imperial Valley sports. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Carl Varner Memorial Gymnasium as the undefeated Central Spartans in league play with a 5-0 record take on the hosting Calexico Bulldogs, who suffered a setback against the Spartans on January 18th, 51-48, and as a result, that was their first loss in league. As we welcome our color commentator, Mike Pacheco. This is Vic Carrillo bringing you play-by-play action. Mike, take it away.
Oh, thanks, Vic. Thanks. Yeah, pretty exciting here. You know, when I was a coach, being in this gym brings back a lot of memories. We had a lot of good games here, so I'm sure these kids here are excited, nervous, and they're ready to get going as soon as that referee throws that ball up.
Well, we're getting set for the tip-off. Number 13 for Calexico is Christian Bravo. He'll be jumping against freshman Jared Martin wearing jersey number 0. Aiden Carrasco is wearing jersey number 12. He'll be here at the half court awaiting the tip. So Calexico in a kind of a clock formation with Castro at the 9 o'clock position, Beltran at the 3 o'clock, and number 1, Aron Tavares, that high-scoring senior with a 20-point per game average, playing the 6 o'clock position.
Yeah, protecting the basket for any fast break. I think they're having a little bit of difficulty with the clock, Vic, so there's probably a little delay in starting this game. So that doesn't help the players because they want this thing to get going.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, pull up your easy chair. We're in for a barn burner tonight as the Central Spartans, coached by Juan Valenzuela, and the Calexico Bulldogs, coached by Hugo Estrada, match up here as we get set for the J.J. Jackson toss. And the tip is controlled by Bravo as recovered by Carrasco, and here we go as the Calexico Bulldogs go into their motion offense a la Golden State.
Yeah, so Central starts off with a 1-3-1 zone, looks like it, maybe a 2-3 to start the game off.
An excellent pass by Tavares to Carrasco, and he wasn't able to hang on. Otherwise, that would have been 2 points. Yep. As the Bulldogs applying full court pressure.
Yeah, so Coach Estrada is starting off with a full court man-to-man pressure a little bit in this game.
Shot attempt by number 40, Tovar, unsuccessful as Beltran working the ball around. Beltran, a cerebral basketball player, the grandson of former Calexico great of the class of 68, Ernie Mockingbird Medina.
Yeah, it seems like the Calexico starting off these 2 first possessions, Vic. They need to be a little bit more patient against that 1-3-1 zone of Central. The 2 turnovers to start off, that's probably not the way Coach Estrada wanted to start this game.
Well, you know, both teams are kind of like a mirror image of themselves. Mm-hmm. The game's not going to be decided in the first quarter, though.
No, it isn't. But I do like Calexico starting off in man-to-man pressure.
Beautiful pass by Tovar to number 5. That was Jacob Vargas with the first basket as the Central Spartans jump out to an early 2-0 lead with 6:35 remaining here in the first quarter. Three-pointer, Andres Tavares.
That was a great feed, a great assist from his brother.
Well, Estrada coaches his team to be unselfish and make that extra pass.
Yeah, he penetrated that zone and then dished it off to his wide open.
And number 10 for the Spartans, that's Skylar Cook, bullying his way in through the paint to score a second goal for the Spartans. Beltran comes up short on that little floater. And a layup attempt by Jacob Vargas.
Yeah, foul was on 33, Beltran from Calexico on the drive-in.
That's right, got him with a body. That's the first foul on Beltran. First team foul for Calexico, and at the line shooting 2 will be number 5, Jacob Vargas, a junior for the Spartans. And Vargas successful on the first attempt, will be shooting the second. How important is the ability to make free throws?
Well, you know, that's very important. You know, I know it's early in the game, but in a close game at the end, you're going to look at these missed free throws. So luckily, he made both of them, and but they are very important, no matter if it's a first quarter or fourth quarter.
So Vargas good with those 2 free throws. Central 6, Calexico 3, and now number 13,
Bravo.
Christian Bravo, scoring there on a feed from Tavares and pulls Calexico to within 1, 6-5.
So Calexico went to a 2-3 zone, changed up a little bit on their defense. Coach Estrada maybe felt that they were penetrating too much on them.
Well, what I've seen is that these players thus far have excellent peripheral vision as they're threading the needle on their passes and catching their teammates by surprise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Tavares, number 1, Aaron Tavares, comes into the game averaging 20.4 points per game, scores his first bucket of the night. It seems like
who wanted the ball there?
Right. I guess they were surprised that it wasn't contested by the Spartans.
Oh, there's another one that maybe a little too hot on that one.
A little too hot, but sometimes some fans in the stands will say they're overpassing the ball, but no, that's good because it's setting the tone for the rest of the game to keep your eyes and your hands open because the ball's coming in your direction if you're open.
If he would have caught that, that would have been an easy two points there, easy shot. Yeah, like Calexico, they're trying to push the ball as much as they can up court, so they're looking for the easy basket.
But not only that, it takes the opposing team out of their comfort zone on offense because they know that if they miss the shot, they have to hustle back on defense. So it's kind of like forcing the issue.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So another basket for Calexico as they extend their lead to 3, 9-6, with 3:49 remaining here in the first quarter. You just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, and an excellent feed by Skylar Cook to number 23, Arturo Estrada, only a sophomore with a putback, and as a result, El Centro now has 8 points to Calexico's 9.
You know, Calexico does a great job of passing the ball around that zone of Centro's big, so they're looking for the wide open shot.
An excellent left-handed shot by Christian Bravo, number 13. That's his second bucket of the quarter. Calexico 11, Central 8. Andres Tavares with a rebound, and he brings it up court as Calexico goes into their offense. It's kind of like a freelance offense where they pass the ball from wing to wing, and then 1 out of every 3 passes goes into the center at the post position.
The high post. They're looking for that high post, and then either going to drive or dish it off to the wings for an open shot. Ball
thrown out of bounds by Jacob Tovar, looking for a cutting Skylar Cook. Unsuccessful, as we have a substitution for Calexico, number 2, Cesar Castro, into the ball game. Bravo getting a breather. So you have the Tavares brothers along with Julian Beltran, Castro, and Carrasco, the starting 5 for the 5 in for Calexico right now. Now Jared Martin, he was an outstanding football player for the David Peña and the Central Spartans this year, only a freshman, and here he is starting and playing a vital role for the Spartan varsity. So, you know, they're going to get to have him for 4 seasons, or 3 after this one.
Yeah, that makes it nice for, you know, start that young as a player, because you'll have him for three more seasons. So
Martin converts the first of 2 free throws as he was fouled on the play. And he converts a second. So the Spartans 4 for 4 at the free throw line here in the first quarter. Nice spin move by Beltran. Ball comes off the rim and picked up by Tovar. Martin forcing the action there, missing that shot.
Oh, that was a great assist by Tavares there for the basket and the foul there.
And excellent body control by Aiden Carrasco as he delayed on the pump and pulled the ball back behind his head a la Michael Jordan and then laid it in.
Yeah, that was Aaron Tavares that gave that no-look pass for the easy layup.
So Calexico on the transition are quick to exploit the other team's weakness by creating a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, etc. as Carrasco misses the front end of that free throw.
There you go.
Beltran with the steal, and he feeds Tavares, and Tavares converts on the fast break layup, and with 1:25 remaining here in the first quarter, time is called by the Spartans with Central down by a score of 15-10.
Yeah, Coach Valenzuela didn't like the, especially I think they're getting late back on transition, and Calexico is beating them with a couple of layups. So I think he's pretty upset talking to them and during the timeout about getting back on defense.
Well, and that you try to coach your teams and run those 3-on-2 drills and fast break drills, that when the point guard or whoever's on the top with the ball, if he penetrates into the paint, one of the wingmen have to cheat back to guard against an easy fast break layup like that.
Exactly. That's what they're tout. Now I like this again. Off a timeout, Calexico throws a little full court zone press here with a trapping there on the side. He almost got that.
And they come up with a steal as Carrasco cuts in front of Estrada. Aaron Tavares with the rebound of his own shot goes back up and hangs, and he's fouled by number 10, Skylar Cook.
Yeah, Coach Estrada is doing a good job of mixing it up a little bit off timeouts and issues like that.
That's the second team foul, first personal foul. At the end of the first quarter, Palo Verde 17, Calipatra 6 at Calipat in boys basketball. We'd like to thank Will Torres for providing us with the updates, as well as Valley Sports Network providing this coverage, first ever in Valley Sports Network here in their 4th season of operating with the Calexico Bulldogs and the Central Spartans. A nice feed into Skylar Cook, and he lays it in for another bucket as the score under 1 minute left to play, 17-12 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that time Central penetrated the Calexico zone and got the easy basket underneath again.
Beltran off target on that three-point attempt as he, another update, Imperial 32, Calexico 11 at the half in girls basketball. So Amanda Rose Gerardo Briseño needs to get those girls going in the third quarter. And a steal by Skylar Cook.
Well, traveling on.
But you can't fault that effort. He's an outstanding defensive back for the Spartan secondary in football. And he's showing his athleticism and talent and nose for the ball there on that, on that steal.
That was a great hustle by Skylar. That if he didn't slip, he would have stole that ball.
So 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. I'm sure they'll play for the last shot. As Tavares, the senior, yo-yoing up and down the court here in the front court. Under 5 with a penetration. A step back jumper, no good, and after 1 quarter of play, Calexico 17 and the Spartans 14. We'd like to give a shout out and a special thank you to Jalen Fong for providing us with the scores throughout the Imperial Valley. Thank you, Jalen. You're a good man, an honor, and a scholar.
Yeah, I think the first quarter was a little kind of feeling each other out. I think Coach Valenzuela with Central is probably going to communicate to his team that they need to get back on defense. Coach Estrada is probably going to make sure that his zone is they don't penetrate on his zone either. But he's mixing it up on the defenses, which is good.
Well, you know, this game is a replica of the outset of the previous encounter between Calexico and Central at the Central Gym on January 18th, where only 1 point separated them at the end of the first quarter, 14-13. And it was like that in the second and third quarters, where they were either a 1 point differential. Calexico ran the lead up to 6 points, the separation, and then Central in the fourth quarter rebounded with 13 points to Calexico's 4 and pulled out that narrow victory. So possessions are going to be very important in this game.
Yeah, and an important first quarter. You know, we only have 3 team fouls for the Calexico and 2, so no foul trouble as of right now. Refs are letting them play a little bit, so that's good.
And J.J. Jackson and Randy Arguelles representing the Imperial Valley Basketball Referees Association. They're 2 of the finest, and they're letting the players play. It's not about the refs. It's not about them.
Yep. So
Martin with a drive, and Martin with a bank shot as he kisses the glass and he cuts into the Bulldog lead, 17-16.
Yeah, Calexico went back to a man-to-man, but Martin just got behind him and then had an easy shot. So,
you know what I've noticed over the years, these recent years, a lot of freshmen playing at the varsity level for the different schools and being major contributors.
Yeah, you know, they start young at the youth level, and they're getting ready by the time they hit the high school to play up at the high level, varsity level.
Well, the Bulldogs 2-on-1 fast break is interrupted by number 10 of the Spartans, Skylar Cook. Calexico with another steal led by Aiden Carrasco. A little baby hook by Julian Beltran inside the paint on a pass from Carrasco, and Calexico enjoying a 3-point lead.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, Vic, the little baby, half baby hook there from Beltran. That's a pretty nice little shot he has there. Classic
fundamental basketball with that drop step.
Yep.
You know, his grandfather, Ernie Medina, played a lot like that.
Yeah.
A steal by number 10, Andres Tavares, 5'6" junior, and he converts at the other end for 21 for Calexico, 16 for the Spartans. And number 5, Jacob Vargas hitting a jumper at the top of the key, 2 points. So with 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter, Calexico 21, Central 18. If you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen. Nice feed.
Great assist.
And Andres Tavares feeding Julian Beltran for an easy bucket, as we'll probably be seeing that a lot tonight.
Yeah, they seem to work together. They kind of look for each other, so that's good. That's going to happen quite a bit probably the later part of this game.
What I like about this early philosophy of both teams is that they're getting the ball inside to the center position or the paint, you know, 1 out of every 3 passes. And that keeps the defense honest because it doesn't let them guard the perimeter shooters as of yet. So we'll see how this plays out going into the remainder of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think if you were following the shot chart, I think you'll see the majority of the shooting is inside the key, so for both teams.
So Landon Blasdale, number 4 for Calexico, a junior, into the ball game to give Carrasco a breather. Trapped on the baseline is Aaron Tavares, and Wisely calls timeout.
Yeah,
so
Coach Estrada, I think, bailed him out. He got caught there in the baseline, and Coach had to call a timeout to get him out of there.
So with 5:06 remaining in the second quarter, Calexico 23, Central 18. So what's your analysis thus far?
You know, so far it seems like Calexico's quickness on the transition versus Central's penetrating on Calexico on the other side. I think it's still seeing which team is going to adjust to stop each other from doing
and
that.
The other thing, Calexico is playing point the pistols defense, where they've got their hands in the passing lane, they're opening up, and so if you're prone to throw a floater or a soft pass, it's going to be deflected and intercepted and going back the other way, so you really have to snap that ball.
Yeah, Coach Valenzuela Central is not changing his defense. He's staying with that 2-3 zone. Coach Estrada from Calexico is kind of mixing it up a little bit. Calexico on the offensive against that zone, they just need to be patient, and you know, it's hard for kids to be patient with that kind. They want to.
And what are the strengths of a zone defense? particularly at the high school level.
Well, it makes the other team move the ball more, pass the ball more, where you may end up some turnovers, you know. So
like right there.
that exactly.
And there's the floater, the left-handed Bravo, throwing a lollipop pass, as we would call it back in the 80s.
Yep. Yeah, they're too quick for them kind of passes. They stay up in the air too long.
It's just like those old records, those that are 78 and 45 versus somebody playing an oldie but goodies on a 33.
Yep.
And slow dancing in the corner of the gymnasium.
There you go.
Number 5, Vargas with a rebound there. He'll bring the ball up court. Passes the ball to Martin to try to get their offense started here in the half-court set. Another dangerous pass there.
Yeah.
And that's something you always try to coach your big men. Don't put the ball on the floor, because then you let the shorter guards or other players have equal access to the basketball.
They come and strip it. They're closer to the ground, so they come and strip it when you bring it down. So, and Calexico did a great job at double teaming the low post here. So
a nice spin move by number 10, Andres Tavares, over the extended arms of Skylar Cook for another Calexico bucket. And that was number 20, Seth Johnson, into the ball game here with that outside jumper from the baseline, cutting the lead to 25-20 as a spin move by Beltran. Oh, they call him for traveling.
I thought it was a pretty good move. Yeah,
well,
he did a good spin there.
He's honed his skills playing international basketball in Mexicali, and that was a classic example of what they call the Euro step.
Yep. That extra step in Europe, right?
It always worked in our driveway.
Yeah.
Johnny on the spot, number 40, Jacob Tovar there with a putback.
He got a good offensive rebound right off the rim there, so it came right to his hand. So
well, the important thing that I saw is that he had an excellent box out.
Yeah.
Vargas with a rebound as he brings the ball up. You know, the impressive thing in today's basketball is all 5 players can handle the ball. You know, like a point guard.
Yeah, even the center now can bring it up the court. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Nice dipsy-do floater through the key. Number 1, Aaron Tavares. He's watched a lot of film on Steph Curry.
Yeah,
you know,
that looked like a typical Steph Curry move there for Aaron Tavares.
So Aiden Carrasco back in the ball game. Going to the sidelines, number 4, Blasdale, along with Bravo. You have number 2, Cesar Castro, into the game as well.
Yeah, Calexico looks like they're extending their zone a little bit, putting more pressure on top, which is bothering Central a little bit.
You know, you have to have eyes on the back and the side of your head to see where the defense is.
Yep.
Nice pass.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, great assist again to Beltran there.
Looked like Mike Pacheco in 1984 in the Calexico Adult League.
Yeah.
Feeding it to Butch Durazo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think if I was Beltran, I think I'd buy Tabarra some lunch every day. He feeds them really well.
Another beautiful pass.
There it is. Great pass.
And the important thing, an excellent finish there by Aaron Tavares.
Yep.
And that was part of the execution, not only starting in the middle, but the finishing part.
Yep. Yep. No, they're pretty quick, Aaron and Andres there. They like to penetrate and dish, which is good.
You know, and the interesting thing is that the Tavares family, his dad and his uncles, were outstanding wrestlers for Calexico. You know, they're all built the same, and yet on their mother's side, the Rio Seco side, they were known for basketball. You know, the boys' uncles, Arturo and Pete Rio Seco, outstanding basketball players in their own right. So
that was a three by Jacob Tobar there from the corner over the zone there.
And mix in a little some genes from the Burgos family, and that's why these kids are outstanding basketball players.
Yeah.
Had too much time.
Too much.
So with 25 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, Calexico 31, Central 25. Central playing for the last shot as there's a 35-second shot clock. It's been turned off. Nice drive and dipsy-do by number 5, Jacob Vargas. So with 6 seconds remaining, Aaron Tavares with the ball. Illegal screen called on Calexico. Into the game, number 13, Bravo. Beltran will take a seat. They don't want him to pick up another foul with 3 seconds remaining. And Calexico will be pressuring the inbounds pass. And so, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 quarters of play, Calexico 31, Central 27.
Yeah, Calexico had a little lead there, about 5 points, 7 points, and then Central had some late baskets there at the end before the half, so made it a little close here. So 4-point
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today 760-337-8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today 760-337-8600.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Valley Sports Network here as we celebrate an exciting basketball game being played by the Central Spartans, who are the visitors, and the hosting Calexico Bulldogs in a battle for first place in the Imperial Valley League. As the Spartans come in with an undefeated lead record of 5 wins and no losses, Calexico with a 4-1 one-loss record, that lone defeat on January 18th, 51-48, after leading for 3 quarters of play to the Central Spartans. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank tonight's sponsors for making this game's live broadcast possible, and that is Burgers and Beer, Reach Air Medical Transport, Havens Landscaping, Top Notch Barbershop, Letterman's and Bro Athletic Equipment, and jackets. ¿Qué pasa, Calexico Podcast? Ojeda Industries, the Dom Team, meeting your real estate needs, the Town Pump in Westmoreland for the best steaks in the Imperial Valley, and everybody's favorite, the Imperial Irrigation District, keeping the lights on and that water flowing. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Vic Carrillo, your play-by-play announcer, filling in for John Moreno, who's the voice of choice, and I'm joined by our outstanding color commentator and analyst, Mike Pacheco.
Yeah, thank you, Vic. Thank you. What a pretty good half here at both teams. It's a close game. Calexico's up by 4 points. Nobody's had a bigger lead than 5, 6 points, and so nobody's in foul trouble. And I think this second half is going to be pretty exciting here.
Well, everybody can handle the basketball. The centers, when they get the rebound, they're able to dribble out of trouble or take the ball coast to coast, and that's what's impressed me thus far. And just the ball movement, the passing, the cutting, it's basketball at its finest.
Yeah, Calexico's two brothers, Tavares, Aaron,
And Julian Beltran.
Yeah, both of them are slashing, dishing off, or finishing in with the layup. And then on the other side, Calexico, the Central's kind of shooting some threes a couple times, and then they're also driving a little bit on Calexico's zone.
Well, both teams have been influenced by the style of play of the Golden State Warriors, where there's a lot of movement, ball passing, looking for making that extra pass to get a better shot. And it's been evidenced tonight with Calexico dishing on the inside, 1 out of every 3 passes going to the center in the paint position, and Beltran is either scoring or he's passing out to somebody in the perimeter for a wide open 3-point shot. And as a result, after 2 quarters of play, Calexico has led 31-27 as we get the third quarter underway.
Yeah, and both teams are doing a great job of moving the ball. I think both of them are 4 or 5 passes before a shot goes up, so they're doing a great job of moving the ball.
Beltran there with a rebound and the putback after 1 dribble. So Calexico draws first blood here in the third quarter, leading 33-27. We'll give you the starters after, I would say this play, but this isn't football. Skylar Cook with a shot. Tovar with a rebound for the Spartans. He gets his own rebound, his miss again. And here comes Andres Tavares hanging in the air, and with a putback, his older brother, Aaron Tavares, for the easy bucket.
Great hustle to follow up on that missed shot for easy layup.
Well, the one thing is once they make that recovery, they take off for the races down court.
They're looking to steal and run.
Excellent pass by freshman Jared Martin, the grandson of Lefty Martin, as Jacob Vargas with the basket, Martin with the assist. And number 10, Andres Tavares, a 5'6" junior, with that 3-pointer there, assisted by his older brother, Aaron Tavares, and Coach Juan Valenzuela, in his 9th season as a varsity coach for Central, calls a quick timeout here with 6:31 remaining in the third quarter. Calexico extending their lead 38-29. What say you, Mr. Pacheco?
Yeah, I think Mr. Valenzuela wasn't happy there with the wide open 3 that Andres had there. He had nobody close to him, and I don't think his zone defense was rotating properly, and I think he had a quick timeout. I think they're up now by Calexico's up by 9, so he's afraid this game doesn't get away from him. So that was a good timeout by Coach Valenzuela.
Would he be switching to a man-to-man defense, or you just think that his players need to focus in and recognize what their roles are in this zone defense?
I think that's what it is, Vic. I think he just wanted to get those players back in focus and get them playing again like they were in the first half.
So Calexico putting full court man-to-man pressure, and then falling back into a zone here as Jared Martin brings the ball across the 10-second line, and Central counters with their own 3-pointer. So 38-32, 6:12 remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was Seth Johnson with the 3 wide open. So that was a good timeout. Got a 3 out of it. So Good timeout by Valenzuela.
A little pump fake there by Beltran, a little too much on that close-in shot, and as a result, Central comes down with a rebound as Martin, driving into the paint, loses control of the basketball, and Calexico takes over. Halftime score in Calapat, the Yellow Jackets of Palo Verde are leading by a score of 34-13 in boys basketball.
Great ball movement by Calexico again. They made 6 passes for that open 3.
6 passes, and it results in an Andres Tavares three-pointer. 41-32 Calexico. Ball in and out on that shot by number 20 for Calexico, Seth Johnson.
Aaron Tabarez driving and got fouled again. Central was a little late getting back on their defense.
So the Spartans on offense can't rest on their laurels when they shoot, because they have to hustle back on defense because Calexico is exploding down court.
Yeah, that was Aaron that got the defensive rebound and just dribbled up court and drove in and got fouled, and he's got 2 free throws coming to him.
You know, it's kind of like a secondary fast break as they race down the court trying to get a layup. If they don't have it, then they shoot the ball out to the wings to see if they can get an open three-pointer.
Yep.
You know, and trying to get, trying to shoot within 8 seconds.
Yeah, pretty easy offense, right? Either you're going to drive in or dish it out for a 3.
Well, Tavares converts both free throws there as a result of the foul, and Calexico now enjoys their largest margin, 43-32, with 5:03 remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Coach Valenzuela is a little worried here, I think. You know, Calexico's up by 11. He wants to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
And a steal there by Tavares, left-handed layup, and he's fouled, or he stepped out of bounds, and Coach Estrada questioning that call. And but yet, with eyes like a hawk, Randy Arguelles, the referee, was right there as a line judge, and so it's a turnover for Calexico. Central will get the ball back as Jacob Tovar brings the ball up.
Yeah, I think Coach Estrada felt that his player got pushed out of bounds. So
foul called on Aiden Carrasco, number 12, a junior, reaching in on Jared Martin, who was down on the baseline. Calexico on their ball hawking defense as Tovar, number 40, a hop, skip, and a jump through the paint, in for a left-handed layup, and he cuts the lead to 9, 43-34.
yeah, he did a great job of penetrating that and got the easy layup.
So number 4, Blaisdell, holding the ball on a little too long. Another dipsy-do layup, left-handed by Tavares, unsuccessful. Number 10, Skylar Cook with the rebound. And he's fouled on that play by Landon Blaisdell, number 4, a 5'7", 160-pound junior. So a timeout is called with 4:18 remaining. Bulldogs 43, Spartans 34 on a full house here on our side of the court here at Carl Varner Memorial Gymnasium.
Yeah, because that was a timeout by Coach Estrada from Calexico, just trying to kind of get his team a little bit. I think the last 2 trips down, they had a couple of turnovers, and so he's trying to get them back. He may come out of this timeout with a different defense to show Central, so we'll see what he comes out with. But again, it's still anybody's game.
Well, you know, with their 9-point lead, I like that they're playing to win and not playing not to lose.
Exactly.
You know, that type of thing, because they've still got the pedal to the metal to the pedal, and they're full throttle.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only gear these kids know how to play.
Well, that's it. You don't want to slow them down. They only know one gear, and let them go and play and see what comes out at the end.
You know, It's a 35-second shot clock. I don't think either team has used their allotted 35 seconds.
No, I think they get the shot off before.
Well, the trapping defense of Aaron Tavares and Landon Blaisdell forced another turnover as Cook stepped out of bounds there on that trapping defense, that double team on the sideline.
Yeah, so that was a good call by Coach Estrada. Came out with a zone, but he trapped on the sides. Very little different than what he's been doing. So that was a good change.
Nice pass. Beltran can't find the handle. Blaisdell with that pass there. And the Spartans turned it over just like that as the pass goes out of bounds. So with 3:53 remaining in the third quarter, Calexico will take over on another turnover by the Central Spartan offense. Calexico 43, Central 34.
Yeah, last couple of trips, both teams have had turnovers. So there you go. That's a nice drive.
Nice pump fake by Beltran there. The savvy senior was able to get the freshman Jared Martin up in the air in the popcorn machine, as Chick Hearn would say. And now he's at the line getting ready to shoot 2 free throws.
That was a nice stroke there.
Yeah, Beltran getting that rotation, converts the first of 2 free throws as he gets set for the second free throw.
Oh, nice. Nice offensive rebound.
A nice offensive rebound by number 12, Aiden Carrasco, in front of Skylar Cook. And Skylar Cook called for the over-the-back foul there. It's not a shooting foul.
Yeah, team fouls are still minimum, so.
And Tovar with a steal, going coast to coast. And he goes in for the layup, and he's undercut by number 12, Aiden Carrasco. So Tovar, a senior wearing jersey number 40, will be at the line shooting 2 free throws. The Spartans down by 10.
Spartans are coming in with a couple of subs here. Probably give some of the starters some rest here.
Well, you know, Valenzuela seems not to like to go to the bench that often. He likes to keep his players that are in rhythm on the floor. And but right now, he's got to go to the well and start drawing water or pulling players off the off the bench and getting them out there and see if that chemistry will reignite this offense.
Yeah, I think he's just gone 7 deep, 8 deep so far. That's all he's used as far as players. So.
Well, Tovar converts on the second free throw, cutting the lead to 9. That's enjoyed by the Calexico Bulldogs here with 3:23 remaining in the third quarter. A drive and miss by Tavares, and at the other end, number 20, Seth Johnson with that layup.
Central still in their 1-3-1 zone.
Body contact there by number 40, Jacob Tovar, on the driving Aaron Tavares. So into the ball game is Christian Bravo back into the game for Landon Blaisdell. Calexico crisscrossing on the paint. Beltran with a 3-pointer, and the big man, all 6'3", swishes an outside shot for 3 points, giving the Bulldogs a 10-point cushion here in the third quarter with 2:45 remaining.
Nice.
Look pass, beautiful. Aaron Tavares to Andres Tavares. Calexico extending the margin to 12.
What'd you think, Vic? Do you think those two brothers know each other?
I think they've played a
They're
lot of
gonna do it
games in their
again.
driveway. Here's another no-look pass as he threads the needle, and Valenzuela immediately calling a timeout. Not so much for the errant passes, but the defense was not getting back.
defense creates good offense. Great job on stealing those passes and creating them easy layups for Calexico here.
So Calexico right away trying to get into their transition and running game to create some easy buckets, and it's paying off now because there's nothing easier than a fast break layup.
No, that's the highest percentage, right, is a layup.
You know, and a lot of kids and teams have fallen in love with a three-point shot. You know, that's the money maker.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a final from Imperial. The Imperial girls, the Lady Tigers, 53, the Calexico Lady Bulldogs, 28 in girls basketball that was played at Imperial High School. So we'd like to thank Jalen Fong for providing those updates to keep the viewing audience informed of what else is taking place here in the Imperial Valley on this February 3rd evening.
Yeah, so, you know, Coach Valenzuela's got to be careful here. You know, Calexico jumped out to a 14-point lead now, and he's got to be very careful here that it doesn't really get away from him.
Well, what would he do offensively? Try to score quickly or run time off the clock and make Calexico play defense, and then you have those free throws with the clock stop, get you back into the ball game?
Yeah, I think he needs to just be patient with that defense and go in and out a little bit, look for some threes, go inside and out.
Well, Jacob Tovar followed his own three-point attempt and caught Calexico's defense napping and sneaks in for the rebound and scores. Julian Beltran with a putback on Aaron Tavares' miss, and he gets fouled.
Central kids forgot to rebound that ball, so it came right to his
He was fouled on that play by Jared Martin, the freshman forward, playing a stellar game for the Central Spartans, but he can't do it alone.
Yep. You know, Julian Beltran shoots some nice free throws.
Right, he's focusing on right now, and there you go.
Yeah.
Shoot for the back part of that rim.
Yep, yep, nice rotation on the ball too.
So number 5, Jacob Vargas bringing the ball up against Calexico's pressure defense as Martin fires from the top of the key, unsuccessful. Beltran, correction, that's number 13, 6'3", Christian Bravo with a rebound. Recognized tonight before the game on senior night with his parents. Oh no!
Oh, yeah,
you
got lucky. Got lucky there.
You can't pass it through a player with the opposing jersey. Once again, going to the well too often.
Yep.
Nice pass, entry pass to Martin at the free throw line. Nice behind the back dribble. Beautiful pass by Tovar.
Just wasn't ready for that pass, that quick pass.
Well, Jacob Tovar, the senior, displaying outstanding ball handling skills in his own right here, and entertaining the fans that are witnessing this game tonight. A full house from Central as well as Calexico here enjoying Imperial Valley basketball.
So you got about 48 seconds left in this quarter. We'll see how they finish here, Central, on this.
And that was number 2, Cesar Castro, with a three-pointer from the corner. Calexico now with their biggest lead in the ball game, 17 points, excuse me. And Andres Tavares losing the handle on that basketball. Beautiful entry pass by Tovar, but all for naught. So 12 seconds remaining as Aaron Tavares wisely slows the ball down, looking for that final shot. And so after 3 quarters of play, Calexico 56, Central 39.
Yeah, it was a good quarter for Calexico as they outscored them there to get that lead up to 14.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more in a minute on Valley Sports Network.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ValleySportsNetwork.net here as we are illustrating and highlighting exciting Imperial Valley basketball involving the visiting Central Spartans in first place thus far, but they may be tied tonight if Calexico can pull it out here in the fourth quarter as it's just underway. Calexico leading 56-39, but Jared Martin there with a jumper at the elbow of the free throw line, and as a result he cuts into that margin 56-41.
Yeah, so they got off to a 15-point lead right now. Calexico doing a great job of moving the ball, looking for that open shot. There it is.
Number 2, Cesar Castro with another three-pointer from the baseline, assisting Tavares on that play.
You know, Vic, Calexico's defense is just really, the pressure on Central on top is really bothering them quite a bit with the Tavares brothers really hounding the ball.
Well, the Jared jump shot there at the free throw line coming up short, and Calexico with possession of the ball as Aaron Tavares, the senior point guard, bringing the ball up.
You know, I think Coach Valenzuela probably needs to get out of the zone and start putting pressure.
Oh, Beltran way off on that one. Usually the sure shoot and the errant pass by Tovar trying to get 15 points back on that one play. And I don't think there's one in basketball yet.
I don't think it's been invented yet.
But you can't fault his effort and his desire to get Central back in the game.
Yeah.
So both teams have to take care of the ball and not allow the other team to get any freebies or to get back into this ball game, particularly the Spartans.
I think Coach Estrada is going to take a little bit more time on his shot, use a little bit of that 35-second shot clock.
Excellent rebound. Well, number 4, Landon Blaisdell, he's only 5'7", but he plays like he's 6'7" on that series right there, as he twice got the rebounds away from taller Spartans, as a steal by Aaron Tavares, and he takes it in for a layup.
Yep.
And now the margin is extended to 20 points, 61-41.
Yeah, that pressure, again, is just bothering Central quite a bit. Their turnover that's 3 turnovers straight in a row, no shot.
Well, what's forced El Centro into playing Central is they're playing individual basketball now.
That's it.
They're playing 1-on-5.
Yep, that's a good call, Vic, because that's what was first half they were doing a little different. Now they're doing more individual.
Calexico has effectively taken them out of their game plan.
Yep.
Thus far.
And it all had to do with pressuring the ball.
Well, Christian Bravo, 6'3", 190-pounder, trying to bull his way in for that layup, and as a result, he gets called for charging. That'll be Calexico's 4th team foul. Blaisdell comes out to get a breather, and he made some positive contributions with his hustle and team play.
Yeah, and that's a big key, coming off the bench and then giving your team a little lift there.
Well, when you come in as a substitute, you can't come in as a spectator where they charge you admission. You've got to, change the tempo of your teammates' play, and put pressure on the opposing team.
Yep.
A three-pointer by number 5, Jacob Vargas. Jacob Tovar with that assist as he definitely brought the ball up court and then was able to make that timely pass to the wide open Vargas at the top of the key.
Yeah,
so with 4:55, Mike.
Yeah, no, we had a timeout by Coach Valenzuela. So I think he's going to change his defense now. So he's got 5 minutes left before this game, and 20-point lead for Calexico. So I think he's going to come out with some kind of press or at least a little change, get out of the zone that he's been playing.
So with, you figure the 35-second clock, that's a little more than two possessions
for every minute.
For every minute. And so if Calexico takes care of the ball, when I used to coach basketball along with Dennis Jacobelli, we didn't have the shot clock at Vincent Memorial back in the 80s. And what Dennis would implement, and very effectively, is he'd tell the players, 15 passes before we shoot. This way the players didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
They'd swing the ball to one side and then swing it to the other. One out of every 3 passes went to the center, the middle, and you force the defense to play defense. And sometimes out of desperation or frustration, they'd foul and we'd go to the free throw line. But rather than telling them hold the ball, where then they panic.
Yeah. So Centro's coming out with a full court press now. So we'll see how Calexico handles it. Little zone trapping press.
Calexico going up there, like they're playing to win, not to lose. And Jared Martin, only a freshman, playing with the poise of a veteran there.
Yep.
So it was a jump ball. The arrow favors Calexico, so Calexico will get that possession, taking the ball out underneath their basket.
With a new 35-second shot clock, so that's important.
But they wisely have to utilize those 35 seconds. Yep. They were forcing the ball up at the 8-second mark. See?
Yep. But Vic, how's it? I know for these kids, it's pretty hard to turn it off and on. So they got one speed. They've been playing all year like that, and it's hard for them to just kind of slow it down. But
and much to a coach's chagrin and frustration, if the defensive player has his hands in the passing lane, don't throw to his hands. Bounce the pass, or But nevertheless, they're young, they're talented, and number 20, Seth Johnson, converts on the first of 2 free throws. He'll get the second here. Calexico up by 18, 63-45.
A good thing that maybe Coach Estrada can do on offensive is to just kind of open it up real wide his offense and make it where it's real difficult to pass. Yeah, that's a good drive.
And that was a foul on the freshman, Jared Martin, more out of frustration, I think, than trying to make that block.
Yep. You remember North Carolina when no shot clock, they ran that 4-corner offense. Estrada could kind of run that a little bit with those Aaron and Tavares kids. They're so quick.
Well, that's a good point. It would be effective because they're all 5 players out there are good ball handlers. And then the center position would be Julian Beltran. Exactly. He's very cerebral, and that's what you need for, when the pass goes into him, who to pass to the cutters, as you have 2 people running the baseline, exchanging sides and making the defense play him and chase him.
Yeah, they don't need much room to penetrate, and when you open it up even the half court, that'll just give them wide open lanes so that they can either drive, finish off, or shoot some threes.
And that's where it becomes like Matador defense.
Yeah, exactly.
My basket is mi canasta es tu canasta. Your basket.
Yeah.
Nice feed to the corner. from Aaron Tavares to his younger brother, Andres Tavares, and how often have we said that tonight? The younger Tavares converting on another three-pointer.
Yep. They just kind of know each other where they're at. They play really well together.
Well, Calexico ups their lead 67-46, a 21-point cushion here with 3:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. What Calexico doesn't want to do is send Central to the free throw line because to score points because the clock is stopped.
Yeah, that's the worst thing is don't foul. Let the clock run. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Now, from an offensive end, would Valenzuela be instructing his players to drive to the basket to try to draw that contact and be sent to the free throw line?
Yep, and then come back. If he gets fouled or gets a layup, come back with a full court press. That's his only chance that he has now to get some quick scores, quick steals, and get some layups off of this.
Well, back into the ball game is power forward Christian Bravo, 6'3", as Martin, a three-pointer from the corner, unsuccessful.
Yep.
Tovar with a pass to number 5, Vargas, and another steal by Tavares. You pick one.
There you go.
Aaron
Smart,
or Andres?
Smart. He pulled it out. He had a 2-on-1. Decided to use some clock.
So much for clock as Julian Beltran
Well, that'll work too, right?
drills a three-pointer from the baseline, giving Calexico their largest lead of the game, 24 points. Calexico 70, Central 46.
Yeah, that was Coach Valenzuela calling a timeout, and I think he's going to empty his bench.
And with that timeout, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our sponsors that have made this broadcast possible on Valley Sports Network. Burgers and Beer, Reach Air Medical Transport, Havens Landscaping, Top Notch Barbershop, Letterman and Bros, Letterman Jackets, Que Pasa, Calexico Podcast, Ojeda Industries, the Don Team, Real Estate, handling your real estate needs, the Town Pump for the best steaks in the Imperial Valley in Westmoreland included, and your friend and mine, the Imperial Irrigation District. So the Imperial Irrigation District, the IID, has a close spot in your heart, right?
Just a little bit. Been there for 41 years. So.
41 years. When did you start? When you were 10? So another steal by Tavares as he races in for a layup, and he scores. He thought he was fouled on the play, but no foul. Another steal, and another layup by Tavares. Boy, this guy's a pickpocket thief a la Supreme.
He has a nose for the ball, I can tell you that.
Quick hands.
Yep.
I mean, he's the kind of guy that you'd be careful to guard your lunch.
There you go. Now he's, oh, they might, I was going to say they're going
Number
to use some
2,
clock, but
Castro, as the ball circles the rim and he scores. Cesar Castro with another three-pointer. Calexico now with a 30-point advantage after losing a heartbreaker to Central on January 18th, 51-48, 48, a three-point loss after leading after 3 quarters of play in that game.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see the game, but probably a little different than tonight. So Coach Estrada just called a timeout, and he's going to empty his bench also. So
a class act by Coach Estrada, as with 2:17 remaining, he pulls out his starters and giving all these other players that were sitting on the sidelines an opportunity to get some playing experience. And Valenzuela doing the same on his side of the ball.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you got to take advantage of this, have some of your substitutes get some playing time, because you never know when you're going to need them for a game.
So we got Caleb Flores bringing the ball in. He's joined by J.P. Gallego along with Eric Longoria and Charlie Sullivan seeing some action right now. Pass out to number 34. Rodriguez caught in no man's land as he's triple covered.
Yeah, he was trying to go up for a shot, Vic, and I think he got hit on the arm, so he's going to hit 2 free throws.
Oh, it's Charlie Sullivan, number 24. He was the Burgers and Beer Player of the Game when Central played Calexico in football. He was a Mr. Do-Everything for the Spartans on offense and defense. So the rebound by Andres Ramirez. Mesa with the ball. Sanchez, Jose not able to handle it. And as a result, the Spartans will take it over and race down court. And the ball going out of bounds. So losing control, Charlie Sullivan. Calexico will be getting the ball and they'll be bringing it back up. And number 24, Jose Sanchez. Giving the ball to number 20. Angel Uribe, 6'4", junior, and he hits from the elbow of the free throw line to give Calexico 78 points here in the ball game with a minute left in the game.
Got 1 minute left, Vic. Calexico's using some time.
Sullivan with a rebound, number 42, JP Gallego with a block there on that drive by number 22, Monzon. Or correction, that was Trejo. Sullivan missing on that shot, Calexico with a rebound. Sanchez tied up by number 32, Rodriguez, and the possession arrow favors the Spartans. So they'll be getting the ball as number 5, Max Nunez, comes in to replace Jose Sanchez with 29.3 seconds remaining. Calexico 78, Central 46.
So I think they're just going to let the clock run here without a shot, Vic.
I think that's the noble thing to do.
Yep.
And the Calexico faithful rising to their feet as a shocking victory for the Calexico Bulldogs over the visiting Central Spartans. We thought we were going to have a barn burner, and whoever had the basketball last would have the best opportunity to win this ball game. But yeah, Calexico with their tenacious defense.
That was the key, Victor. Vic, just the defense really, and the pressure on the ball just got to Central, and they just had too many turnovers.
Well, as the Calexico Bulldogs and the Central Spartans exchanging post-game congratulatory handshakes, we'll have the winning coach, Hugo Estrada, and the player of the game here, which would be Aaron Tavares, who not only scored in double figures with 22 points, but he led the defense with repeated steals and assisting on the play, that he got everybody on his team involved, and it was a total victory for the Calexico Bulldogs and the all-around play of Aaron Tavares. So what say you, Mr. Pacheco?
Oh, no, you said it all, Vic. I think that he just, on both sides of the court, I mean, he was getting rebounds and just starting his own fast breaks, played great defense, a lot of ball pressure, just created havoc for the Central guards. So it was just all his defense.
Well, it was a swarming team defense, but it was like they let the dogs loose, you know, with the Tavares brothers, and they just made it difficult for the El Central guards to get the ball across the 10-second line.
Oh, yeah.
And the back defenders, Beltran, Bravo, and Carrasco closed off the passing lanes, and as a result, numerous steals or deflections were in play, and that's frustrating to an offense and discouraging to a team, as Calexico would race down court for an easy fast break layup.
Yeah, and I think Beltran had a good game also. I think he would go inside, and then he would hit a couple of threes outside, so it was tough.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with post-game interview. with
Reducing
head coach
energy use
Hugo
during the
Estrada.
summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Valley Sports Network as the Calexico Bulldogs pull off a surprising but resounding victory over the visiting Central Spartans, winning by 25 points here as Calexico, with a aggressive full-court pressure defense, able to come up with easy transition baskets off deflections and steals, and that's all attributed to the coaching tenacity of head coach Hugo Estrada in his 4th year here at Calexico High School, 2 years removed from taking the Bulldogs to CIF San Diego Section Championship in Division 4. And we welcome Coach Hugo Estrada here to share some of the highlights in this victory. Thank you, Hugo.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the
It's always, great to see the crowd supporting us, and it just talks about the type of basketball these boys play.
Okay, apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the technical difficulties. You lost a heartbreaking game on January 18th after leading after 3 quarters of play against the Spartans, where they came back and scored 13 points in the 4th quarter to Calexico's 4, and you lost 51-48, a 3-point defeat, I think. And now you come back and win by over 25 points. What were the keys to that turnaround and the success tonight?
The last game, all credit to Central. They're a good team. They're athletic. They can really go. They're well coached, and we gave them credit. But at the same time, we really believe that we didn't play our best basketball that game. Sometimes we need something like that to make adjustments and to come up a little bit better as a team. We made adjustments after that game. I think we became a better team. We needed something like that sometimes, and we got together as a team, and we made some adjustment that we needed to continue to be our best.
What was very impressive was the unselfishness play of your team as they were making that extra pass, looking for that good shot. The guards were penetrating and dishing off, and then your perimeter shooters were converting on those 3-point attempts, and that was the difference. Central didn't know whether to guard inside or outside, as everybody collectively contributed to this team victory. But the key was the play of your senior guard, Aaron Tavares. What can you say about him?
Aaron Tavares, we've been together for 3 years now, going to our 4th year, and he's been, he's our team captain. He's one of our leaders, and he's just a very talented kid. He always makes everybody better. Not only scoring, but also getting everyone involved. Today, we really showed the type of team we are. We share the ball. We communicated defensively. Those are the things that we always preach, to share the ball and to play defense the right way.
With this victory, now you're tied with El Centro, both with 5 victories and 1 loss, as the season will be coming to a close in the next couple of weeks. How meaningful and important was this victory tonight?
It's we take it one game at a time. We always talk about that. I know we had a busy week this week. We're gonna have another busy week next week as well. We got another one tomorrow. So what we can do is we enjoy it tonight. We're gonna be prepared for the next one, and that's the way it's gonna be for the rest of the year. So I'm proud of the boys tonight, but at the same time we gotta get back to work tomorrow.
Well, Lugo, we're very proud of the stellar performance put on display tonight by your basketball team, the outstanding coaching that you exhibited along with the support of your coaching staff, and it was a collective win. And we wish you all the success in the remainder of the season and into the CIF playoffs. And for our opening game on VSN in basketball, you put on quite a show, and it's going to be a challenge for other games to match up to the performance that the Calexico Bulldogs exhibited tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your coverage. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hugo Estrada, the fourth-year coach of the championship Calexico Bulldogs, as they, on the return match against the Central Spartans, were victorious, and now they're tied at first place with the Central Spartans here in Imperial Valley League play. As we get set for the microphone to be applied to star point guard Aaron Tavares, we'll be introducing him as the player of the game. He came into tonight's ball game averaging 20.4 points per game, 4 steals per game, and he added to that total tonight as he was a ball hawk all over the court. Defensively, he took El Centro out of their rhythm, and as a result, he provided easy baskets for his teammates as well as scoring on his own. Aaron, congratulations and welcome. So tell us, how did you do it?
It was just hard work and preparing for this game with a team in the practice, just being confident and our abilities to play basketball. We've been playing basketball together forever, so we knew that we wanted to come out in this game and just go for the kill. We lost last game, unfortunately, and we didn't want that to happen again. We had it was heartbreaking after that game, so we didn't want to feel that again, and we came after them and we got the win.
Well, 2 years ago, this basketball team surprised everybody by racing through the CIF playoffs, culminating with a championship victory over El Capitan High School at then Serra High School. And returning from that team are yourself, your brother Andres, and Julian Tavares, who played significant minutes in that victory 2 years ago. So how did that leadership and experience that you gained then, and even though we had a pandemic shortened season last spring, play into tonight's rebound match and a return match against the Central Spartans?
It helped tremendously. We had great crowds that was 2 years ago with CIF. The exact same thing that happened last year with Central is the exact same thing that happened today. It was high energy. It was great competition. But, all those games in CIF really helped us. Even last year, even though it was a short season, we played some really good teams. We got eliminated early, but it really helped us, and it really gave us the chemistry that we needed to continue to play basketball at the highest level that we can this year.
Well, one of the things you have to guard against because of winning tonight's game, and it was a very emotional game, and a lot of energy and a lot of adrenaline coming out on both sides of the ball. But because of the quirks of the COVID pandemic and the rescheduling issues, you have another game tomorrow night. And so what do you need to do to prevent your teammates from becoming overconfident or winning on, relying on yesterday's laurels when they have tomorrow night to prepare for?
I just letting them know that we have to stay focused. We always say the next important game is the one that we're playing right now. So we got this one done today. We're going to be happy about it, but tomorrow we're going to get back to work, and tomorrow is our most important game. And we never take any game for granted, and because we know that with this COVID, anything could just be shut down. So we take every game. We don't take every game for granted, and we play our hardest every game.
Now, the family history of the Tavares family is known for their wrestling. Your uncles and your dad were all outstanding wrestlers, all CIF. Some made it to the state, one state, and your uncle is the wrestling coach here at Calexico High School. How did they let you escape from the wrestling program, and you and your brother, Anthony, your older brother, and then you and your younger brother, Andres, get into basketball?
You know, it was actually pretty tough for my dad. You know, we asked him the same thing. You know, how did it feel to, you know, get us start playing basketball? And it was honestly because of our great friend that had a basketball program, and so it was kind of perfect timing. We wanted to play basketball. He just started a program, and we just all decided to play basketball. And from then it just went on, and then we created a family. And, you know, a lot of the players that we play with now played with that same group that we played when we were young.
Well, you know, they say it's not the size of the dog, it's the heart
Yes, sir.
in the dog. And you, your brother, and your teammates play at least a foot taller. You know, you're listed at 5'7" or 5'8" if I want to be generous. But you played like you were 6'8".
Yes,
You
sir.
know, out on the court, you know, fighting for rebounds and making those steals. And sometimes I've always felt it's at your advantage for being shorter, because the taller guy has to really bend down and to try to get down to your level.
Yes, sir.
And your quickness really parlays into your advantage. And it was a beautiful game to watch tonight.
Thank you.
You outstanding contributor to all your teammates. You made them all better, and that's why you were our first selection and unanimous selection for
Thank you.
being player of the game.
you.
Congratulations, and
Appreciate
good luck
it.
the remainder of the season.
Thank you so much.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to wrap it up tonight on Valley Sports Network here at Carl Varner Memorial Gymnasium. The Calexico Bulldogs defeating the Central Spartans here to fall into a tie for first place with identical 5-1 records. We'd like to thank Will Torres and Ron Rubio and Justin Matus, and we'd like to thank everybody for making this broadcast possible. Good, and particularly our color analyst, Mike Pacheco. Mike, any closing comments?
No. Great game. Calexico just did a great job of putting pressure on the ball, and they deserve to win this. Thank you, Vic, and it was a pleasure working with you.
Well, thank you very much. This was our first effort in basketball. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we look forward to doing many more. Good night, ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen.